Welcome back to Tradable System Builder tutorial series. In this video, we're going to determine the rules around how the system will use your investment asset to enter and exit a position once the system has triggered. Whether placing a long or short order, the process is the same. However, long orders are placed in anticipation of the price going up, whereas short orders are placed when the trader believes the price will go down. The order price determines the point at which your order will be placed. For example, if we choose the market price, once the trigger conditions are met, the order will be placed and a trade will take place at the current market price. A limit order will set the price that must be reached for the order to be filled. For example, selecting a limit below market will display another input box which requires a percentage value. Let's enter in 5%. This would mean that if the system triggers an order, the trade will only take place once the price drops 5% below the current market price. For more information on order prices, visit our documentation. The proportion of investment balance indicates how much of your investment balance will be allocated per trade. A common practice is to keep this value below 5% to ensure that the investment is not overexposed in any given trade. However, this is not a golden rule and some strategies, such as a stop and reverse system, use much greater proportions. Let's revisit the below market limit order that we explored earlier. If the price were to rise, the system is left with an open order that may not be filled for an extended period. This is where the unfilled condition comes in. You may choose to cancel the order entirely or replace the order in a given period. As the candlesticks represent a timeframe and it is possible to use varying candlesticks within a system, the value entered here will always represent the smallest candlestick selected in the long triggers. If we were to choose replace, we would be asking the system to replace the order price, so in this case, a limit below the new market price with the same order type after 4 one-day candles. Moving on to risk management. This feature is a safety measure that will help minimize losses if your system enters a position just before the market turns against the call. For example, a stop loss below market allows you to enter a percentage value that will trigger an exit market order if the price reaches that level. This is a very common practice and one that is recommended in almost all strategies. To learn more about risk management, visit our documentation. Take profits are exactly as the name suggests. These values will determine the price points at which your system should take profits. You can increase or decrease the number of exit points by moving this slider. There are several ways to take profit, including the use of an indicator or by simply entering a profit percentage. The proportion of order value allows you to determine how much of the position you would like to remove, whilst the profit percentage determines the price level at which the profit should be taken. As you can see in this example, if I remove 100% of what I had invested into this position at a profit level of 15%, the risk-to-reward ratio would be 1:3. Let's create a few more exit points and spread the take profits so that we are taking profits at different price points. Note that if your system has long and short entries, you may not need to create take profits as a short entry acts as a long's exit and vice versa. That was a lot to take in. Remember to visit the documentation if you'd like to read more about this section, or feel free to revisit this video later. We're going to skip the short section in this tutorial as it is the same form as seen here.